When I was communicating with the producer back and forth, one of the key themes of the song was the muted electric guitar. He wanted to make sure that this part was audible, but also felt throughout the whole song. Now, there's a lot of instruments and vocal arrangements there, so I needed to find a way for it to not stick out in the mix, but to also be there almost subliminally. So let's check that out in isolation. So it's pretty basic. The pattern basically repeats itself. And for that, we're going to do a couple of things. First of all, we're going to shave off the peaks or the transients with the X903. We're going to use a 3:1, 4:1 ratio and adjust the threshold until we're getting 2 or 4 dB of gain reduction. Let's check that out. Now, because we are shaving off the peaks and we're increasing the gain output, it's also bringing up the low-level information up. Next up, we're going to use the similar method, but using a different compressor, using the Tube 176. This is one of my favorite compressors personally, especially on vocals. We're going to use it here on the muted guitar with a 8:1 ratio, which is almost limiting, medium attack, and fast release. Let's check that out. So again, it's just slightly catching the peaks. And what we're doing is we're using 2 stages, serial mode, so that the first compressor is catching the peaks, the second compressor is catching the peaks, and it's not going to sound squashed. Next up, we're going to clean up the lows and some of the highs using the same filters that we use on the acoustic guitars. Let's go ahead and check it out what it sounds like in the track. Okay, great. Now the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of body to that. And for that, we're going to use the VEQ-1A. We're going to set the low frequency at 100 hertz. And then we're also going to give it a little bit more definition, similar to what we did on our kick drum by boosting 5K. So let's check that out. So because this was one of the biggest requests for the mix to maintain and preserve in the background, we were able to achieve that using this plug-in chain. The X903 to shave off the peaks, Tube 176 to do the same thing, using the filters to clean up the lows and the highs, and then adding a little bit of character and focus with the VEQ-1A.